Okay, I think there was too much privilege and everyone went completely mad in the West uh, re- very recently. So there was just too much privilege. In general, yes, exceptions granted. In general, overall, um, everyone just went mad. I mean, I know normal culture's always going to be mad whether you're in the, the 1500s or whatever. There's always going to be copy and there's always going to be not thinking for the self and things like that. But I think just the technology, science, Western medicine, people living longer, and material, and the rise of the middle class, like say early post-war, everyone went mad. It drove everyone insane. They didn't know how to handle the privilege, and they went mad. Too much privilege. TMP. So anyway, so it drove like 90% of the society insane. As I say, it doesn't take much to tip over the edge with normal culture because it always tends towards being insane. But whatever. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I won't go on about normal culture, but I think that's what happened. Um, yeah. So yeah, just too much privilege, too much material, and rise of it. That's all good stuff. Western medicine living to 90 and living to 85, blah 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 blah, and it's great, but mm, it just drove everyone crazy. And now we live with the results. Yay! Anyway, so people talk of this hypothetical, hypodermical situation, you know, theoretical situation as a one, like a knockout thing, like a one hit situation, one hit wonder. So they think it's, it, what do they say? It isn't like as if it's something that just goes bang like a bomb and then it's over. It's a slow process, as we know with ancient Rome, and also it's in motion. Imagine, say, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, where it's, or I call it the Leaning Tower of Pizza, but it's leaning very, 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 very slowly. So people think it has to be high speed, or that it has to be this very quick, like a bomb, flash, and then it's over. But it's not so much you know, there is a process, a motion process like a flowing river. It's not. So what is it? It's a instead of saying, all right, hypothetically, instead of saying it is going to collapse, full stop, or it isn't going to collapse, full stop, which is what the sheeple would say. You could say, um, it is collapsing in slow motion, like it's a movement. It's not a stagnant thing where it just happens and then it's over, like taking a photograph. It's not a flash. It's in motion. It's like a, is it a verb, a doing word? It's there's static and dynamic. So dynamic is static is still and dynamic is moving, right? Say in sports science. So to use the analogy, so it's dynamic. It's not static. It is to use the present tense. There we go, because it's always the future tense. You know, it is going to or it isn't going to. Full stop. But actually, uh, yes, present tense. It is hypothetically, of course, it is collapsing. Uh, present tense, yeah, as a movement. It as if something is moving. It's not a static thing where it just goes bang and then it's over. It's in motion. Anyway, whatever. I'm just saying it. Truth. Western modern society mentally insane. Not that it needed much of a push, but yeah. Um, so yeah, okay, whatever. I could talk about that with the channel. I could talk about maps. Right, I'll just talk about your channel for a minute and just say that if I can find it, which I can't, and now I can, the bigger something gets, the more corrupt it has the potential for, and it increases exponentially. So when it's a uh, small scale and it's like a community, then it's not that it has zero corruption, but it has like tiny corruption, like 90, like 1% or less, and it has like 99% pure or 99% non-corrupt and then 1% corruption, something like that. Yeah, it has near zero levels, but the bigger it gets, it doesn't keep the same percentage. It exponentially increases like a curve, so it like exponentially goes mental. Like it doubles, triples, quadruples, etc. I'm not a flipping statistician. I'm just saying it is exponential. So the bigger, whether it's Western boxing, MMA, capitalistic organisation, whatever it is, or a channel, or someone famous in the celebrity sphere, whatever it is, the bigger something gets, the more corrupt it gets. But also, it's exponential, so it goes mental with the corruption. It's not linear with the percentage. It doesn't keep the same percentage as it goes along. It goes ballistic, like an exponential curve. Again, go and look up stats videos. I'm not a flipping expert statistician. I'm just using an example in this analogy. So just something to bear in mind for people's channels and stuff. Again, always for me resent the fact that I've been forced into it to make a living and then have to adhere to these ridiculous speech code settings that are ridiculous, and I just hate being forced into stuff. So whatever. What would I have done if I wasn't forced into the ridiculous capitalistic frame? Probably an island. No. No, do I need to live? No, not necessarily. No, it doesn't necessarily need to be like an island. That's normal people, they need an island and it has to be summer all the time. I don't mind the rain. But I don't know, some kind of place where I can chill and then just like a lot of that, and then maybe like a couple of guys, like one or two or three, so that there's not a threat, and then just like a million, and then I'm happy then. I mean, that would be good if you could give me the choice like a magic lamp. I know it wouldn't work out like the film Bedazzled, but you get what I mean. It's just in a hypothetical setting. That'd be pretty cool. As I say, you could have like one or two or three, uh, just so that energy didn't go too much far, but not so that they fight with you or whatever. Just enough to have a balance, but it'd be good, wouldn't it? Anyway, and the normal response I'm already anticipating is, "Oh, that's terrible and fake outrage and blah blah blah." But come on, I mean, it's not really, is it? It's great, but whatever. Do the fake outrage, I don't care. Anyway, I don't know how I got onto that from exponential curve. I don't even know. The time my brain works, it just goes crazy like that. But this is definitely a good idea. You just live in some place. I don't really care. There you go. Call it. I'm just gonna write this down. 2 seconds. There we go. So there are 2 possible names for the country. Whatever you want to call it. But there's no... The fake outrage can go away, and all the, the silly fake behaviour, which I don't understand. And, yay, that's good. Although I suppose a bit of the fakeness is good to make it more... what's the word? Makes it more exciting. I suppose it would be boring if it was too... obvious? Too obvious? Does that make sense? If it was too... yeah. I suppose it helps to have a bit of it just to make... Because it's fun to rebel and... I don't know. I'll never understand fake outrage, but anyway, it's a big part of normal culture. So, yeah, just my own place, and then that. And then... I'm not... Like, you've got the... after sports session, but you have to... No, do you know what? I'm not allowed to talk about that. Let's just say, with the... Let's just say when you go in the non-female one, it's not a fun time. It's a very sad face. Because... Anyway, it would be better the only guy. That would be a better idea, really. This video is going to get absolutely attacked in it, but these are just all good ideas. I don't know. I don't get why it's not a good idea. So, I'd be like that only one. And then, that's a good idea. As I say, in my own, I'll have laws that are not insane, and, I mean, not laws, but you know what I mean. Ideas. There you go, ideas. And if you get enough H word points, then high status, high power, high value male, whatever, the hypergamic points, like points in an arcade for coupons for buying stuff. If you get enough hypergamic points, you've got the high value points, and then, like buying a car, it's like you've got enough, pounds, you've saved up, £1 million or whatever to buy a fancy car. It's like that, you've got enough HWord points, then you can do that without being terrible. And then... Oh... I know normal people will have a big go, but I mean... why though? Why be miserable? Why are they so miserable? Why are you so miserable in your culture, guys? Why can this not be a good idea? Is it because of jealousy? Because I'm the only one? Maybe it's jealousy. You can create your own country and do the same idea. Just don't do it in mine. In my, what do you call, make-believe country. There you go, make-believe. In my make-believe one, this is my plan. And then you do it in yours. But I'll be the only one of this. Yeah. In that place. In the make-believe country. Yay. Um, yeah, I don't know why there's the fake outrage and the miserableness, and like the fake puritanism and the fake prudishness, and I can understand if it was authentic, but I don't get the fakeness of it. Like, doesn't everyone want to do that? Is that why they're angry? Because I'm showing them up or something? I don't know. It's 24/7 psychological warfare in normal culture, and it's just an absolute battlefield, non-physically. It's bizarre. I know you understand it, Drew. I do not understand why they get angry at this. How is that not the best idea in the world? I'm probably going to have to edit this specific program today, but whatever. I'll leave it up for a little while. It's almost as good as, like, I don't know, riding on the wings of a Western dragon. I suppose that would be very cool as well. This is a really good idea. So that kind of combination, and I'm the only non-girl, and then that's a good idea. Is that right? And then we're gonna get the fake outrage and the fake attacks and the fake prudishness, and I don't get the fake prudishness. Again, I know you understand it, Drew. Maybe you can explain it. The fake prudishness. It's really weird. Is it jealousy? Because they angry that I came up with the idea first, and they want to copy, or they want to pretend that they came up with it first. That's the best idea in the world. Definitely is. Anyway. So yeah, just make sure if anyone gets a really big channel, they don't become corrupt. But anyway, do you know, my brain always goes blank when I start thinking about that. Then I can't think of anything. That's a really good idea, that. We could talk about maps. Can we talk about maps or not? I don't know. What did I even talk about before? Oh yeah, everyone went crazy because of too much privilege. Maybe that one's linked to the fake outrage and the fake prudishness. Maybe it's linked somehow. I don't know. Again, maybe you can do a video on your channel explaining. You don't have to. It's totally your channel. It's whatever you want to do. But I do not get the fake outrage and the fake prudishness and the fake puritanist. You know. Life art, and then again we have to do fake outrage with the life art, even though everyone thinks it's a good idea. Again, is it because of jealousy? Because I came up with the idea first? Probably. I know one thing I think about normal people culture. So in the normal people culture, you would I just call it normal people culture for my own nickname, but this is what you'd call it, Drew. Well, I know that they hate, like, I can wear my own clothes, like they have to wear normal people approved clothes, like fashionable stuff. I can wear like HEMA armor, walking down the street. Like Western armor, HEMA. Um, and then they'll, call abuse and things. But the point is, like, I can, like, I don't have peer pressure in my disability in the autism, so they do, and they're obviously possibly jealous that they can't wear armor or like samurai helmet or something cool. Like, they can't do anything cool. It's just all black and white and boring and miserable and grey. System approved. Yeah, nothing's like exciting. Like, you can't do this because of fake outrage. You can't wear Western armor if you walk the shops. Like, you can't wear a samurai helmet. Like, anything that's cool. Like, they just, like, it's just so black and white and boring. Like, why is that? Again, you can explain it. I just don't like anything interesting. Anyway. Yeah, so... Could be bipolar mania. All this stuff and then wearing the armour to the shops. I don't know. I don't know how much of it is the autism, how much of it is, something mental illness related. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Talk about Central Europe quickly. Can I talk about Central Europe for 2 seconds without confusing the world? Right, come on, 2 seconds. We're talking about Central Europe. 2 seconds. It's quick. I'm just gonna say that Central Europe is not Eastern Europe, but people in England don't seem to understand this. Poland's in Central Europe. It's to the east of Central, like EC, East Central, to the right or whatever, to the east. But it is in Central Europe. It's not in Eastern Europe. So people keep getting that wrong in England when they keep saying Poland's in Eastern Europe. It's in Central Europe, and then these countries are in Central Europe. This is considered the West culturally, and and that's because the term the West and the term Western and the term Westerner, I think, has lost like 90+% of its meaning. I think it's semi-meaningless. Like, there are some useful rhetorical devices and language devices to get points across that you can't get across without using the word Westerner or the West or Western. But again, I think 90+% of it's lost its meaning. It's so diluted it almost doesn't mean anything anymore, with some exceptions. So that's in Central Europe. It's culturally the West. Yeah, and I think the West is Western Europe and its offshoots: New Zealand, Australia, North America, and then Dutchland, aka Holland. I call it Dutchland because I am part Dutch, even though I can't speak it, a shame. Well, anyway, yes, I'm partly Dutch. I have Dutch heritage. Sad I don't know anything about the Dutch, even though I am Dutch. That's very a shame, because I was brought up in England. And England's a beautiful country, but it's just a shame I don't know anything about Dutchland. By which I mean Holland, not Germany. Central Europe, yeah. So England people keep saying that Poland is Eastern Europe. It's not Central Europe. So, and Hungary, I forgot to put Hungary on there. Austria, those two. So put 7 because technically it's 2. It's not 1. And then Czech Republic, Croatia is like debatable. Depends. But the point is, Central Europe is not in Eastern Europe. So I'm just trying to explain to people. Northern Europe is the Viking countries, as was, Scandinavia and all that, which I don't know about their culture either in their geography. I know they've got a lot of paganism with the troll figures, and that's really good. That I like that. But Central Europe anyway. England people, it's not in Eastern Europe. It's in Central Europe. I know no one will listen anyway. Central Europe, guys. I'm talking about Central Europe. Central of the continent Europe. Central area. There's the Southern Europe, Mediterranean places, Southern Europe. Then there's Western Europe, Northern Europe, the Viking places, and Eastern Europe, the former Eastern Bloc or whatever. I don't care what you call it. There's 3 Eastern Europes: the Southeast, Central East, and Northeast. Northeast is Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Ukraine. As far as I know, that's the ones I know. I can't talk about the ones I don't know. So that's northeastern Europe. But anyway, we're talking about Central Europe. Poland, it's in Central Europe. Hungary's in Central Europe. Austria, Germany, Slovenia, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Croatia. Again, this is just what I understand of it. Someone else might have a different knowledge that I don't know about. I can't talk about it because if I don't know about it, I'm not going to be able to talk on it, am I? But this is what I've taken away from the map study. Central Europe is not Eastern Europe, and then I could do letters, but I'm not going to talk about letters. I'm just going to talk about North Africa. It's the way my brain works, by the way. So I either stop doing the talk casts and then you'll say you tell ND people not to give up. So I'm trying not to, but in order to not give up, this is what the channel is me just being a bit hyper and just talking about different random stuff because I can't be rigid. I just can't. In normal culture they do rigid, but I can't be. So it's either I give up and do nothing and sit in a chair depressed, or I do the channel with very hyper scattering whatever. It's either that or I do nothing. I can't really have a middle. Maybe, as I say, maybe I'll get better with practice, but maybe if they talked my language in normal culture, it would help me to talk theirs a bit, because the 50-50 is fair. It's not fair when you have to talk 100% of their language and they make 0 effort your way. That one kind of puts my back up and makes me a bit, stubborn to talk their language, because it's not really fair. It's a bit lazy. But anyway, North Africa, and I'm not sure if this one is next to this one or whatever, but this is the top layer of Africa. There are 5 countries. That one's on the left. That one's the Strait of Gibraltar. The ferry takes 35 to 40 minutes on a good day, and it's 8.9 miles in distance approximately, and it's called the Strait of Gibraltar. Is that right? Yeah. It's a gap between southern tip of Spain and northern tip of Morocco, and it's a sea, like a stretch of sea. Anyway, you can actually see it. I think if you're in either Spain or North Africa, you can actually see the other country, whether you're in this one or whether you're in Spain, if you stand on the edges of them. But I believe so. I've never been there. So there's the 5 countries on the top layer: North Africa, and I'm not talking about Sub-Saharan Africa, the regular Africa. I'm not talking about regular Africa. I'm talking about North Africa. It's a different culture, and that one's on the left. That's the first one. Then I'm not sure if it's this one second or this one second, but they're next to each other, and then that one's 4th and 5th. I'm pretty sure that's right. I used to do it when I was 25. I had a map of it because it was a special interest for a short while. So yeah, it's the top layer of Africa. And the Strait of Gibraltar, 8.9 miles. You get the quick ferry. It should take 35 plus minutes on a good quick day. And in this country, you've got the second biggest amphitheatre, aka Colosseum, in ancient Roman civilization, called the El Gem, or some people spell it De Gem with a D, or some people just spell it Gem, J-E-M. El Gem Arena, EL-Gem, in North Africa, and it was used in the film Gladiator in the year 2000. It came out, I think. Anyway, that's the film. The year 2000, you had the film Gladiator and the film Gladiator, and it was the North African Colosseum. It wasn't the Colosseum in Italy. So that's interesting, and it's the biggest surviving Colosseum outside of Italy, the biggest non-Italy Colosseum in the world. I think that's right. I think it's the biggest colonial one. Oh, yeah, the biggest non-Rome one. Anyway, 100 foot tall, I think. It's when it was built, so. And the Flavian Amphitheatre in Rome, the so-called the Colosseum, is 150, but the one in North Africa is 100 foot tall, or slightly more, 101 or 105. But it's just on the mark of 100, give or take. So that's the Colosseum, the non-Italian Colosseum, biggest non-Italian Colosseum, surviving, I think. I'm pretty sure. So that'll be cool. I'm not going to talk about feeding capitalists to jaguars in the Colosseum, because I won't talk about that. Okay. Anyway. That's the thing about the Colosseum. I don't think they had jaguars. They had lions, but I don't think they had jaguars. You know, getting attacked by a jaguar would be really scary.